done with the piece. I can't believe that I'm the person who did that. But then I come up with a piece like this one here, the tiger lily, and it's like, well, gee, maybe I am worth something if I could do something like that.
Inspired Voices is a Tri-County fundraiser, but it gives people a chance to see what Tri-County really does with the consumers. It's not all about money and, where people go for counseling. It's what comes out of the counseling and what comes out of the med management, and where people can really see what consumers are, that we're everyday people with everyday problems.
Wherever you go, wherever you may wander in your life, the humble king, they named a fraud and sacrificed the Lamb of God.
She would play for hours without even a peep. This little girl would never weep. I really like how the performances, no one can tell who's a professional and who's a consumer. I got last year, oh, I didn't realize you were a consumer. Okay, I'm sorry. What do you want me to tattoo it? Do you want me to wear the shirt that says consumer on it so you know? They go, oh, we thought you worked for Tri-County. No, just go there, I get counseling. Anyone can have depression, anyone can have anxiety. It's not someone who is homeless on the street that has depression. It's doctors and lawyers and even therapists sometimes take antidepressants. A mental illness can happen to anyone, anytime.
This is one beautiful church. Yes. This is beautiful.
I'm nervous. I'm just plain nervous. I was trying to make the stage less scary and just to stand on it and kind of feel the wave of anxiety and let it flow, trying not to be afraid of my own emotions. And if I can just let the anxiety wash through, then you don't have anxiety over your anxiety. If you follow my drift, you don't have to be afraid of being afraid. So, and that takes the power away from it. I started 2 years ago. This is my third year of putting an artwork in, and after watching people, perform 2 times, I thought, try it, just try it. There's 2 feelings immediately when the answer was yes, you can be on stage. One is, wow, I get to be on stage, and the other is, wow, I get to be on stage.
We're all here to support you.
Just read slow.
It's so
Slow.
okay. This coat is soaking wet from the sadness and, excuse me, can I try that again? This coat is soaking wet from the sadness that drops like pouring rain and seeps into every fiber of the fabric. It hunkers down around my shoulders, drapes around my body, weighing down my arms, my legs, my heart, my soul. The first time I couldn't get my tongue to cooperate with the rest of my mouth. though they gave a lot of positive feedback.
That's just how it feels.
Yeah,
That's just how it feels.
thank you.
Thank you for writing that.
It was their comments that were golden, because, I mean, it's when we can encourage each other, I mean, that's what it's about.
Hi.
I'm
Well, the
Rick.
temperature went up 5 degrees when you came in.
Charlie Rick.
Hi.
Somebody, you want to hear people call me Charlie, and you feel people call me Rick. This could be the start of something big. A duo. I'm trying to write a song to tell you how I feel. I wish I didn't stumble on the words I try to say. Now that we did that, we'll put it on the right capo and start over.
I thought that was low.
I have no voice at that low. Thank you. I Think You're Wonderful was written 20-something years ago for a young lady that I met at the Portland School of Art. It was written at a time when I was in recovery, had been in recovery for several years. And, you know, it's just a wonderful song, you know. And I know that by how it makes me feel when I sing it and how other people respond to it. But maybe I've said it all, and there's nothing. I had a very serious trauma in my life, and it took me for a ride, and I've been on the road to recovery ever since. And I think you're special. 5 years ago, they did the first Inspired Voices and asked me if I wanted to sing. It was kind of scary, but when I finished singing on the stage, looking out into the audience, and the lights were blinding me, you know, and then the audience, when we finished singing, the audience applauded and cheered. It was like nothing I had ever quite experienced before. It was a pretty big crowd. It wasn't a scary that was undermining, you know, in any way my sense of security. It built it up. It stimulated me.
Wined and dined well downstairs, because you're in for a great ride for the second half this evening. And but as the tradition goes, at this point, you've all bought raffle tickets downstairs, I hope, and we will have the draw for this fantastic basket. And so tonight's winning raffle ticket. This is one of those things that you always hope doesn't happen to you on one of these slick evenings like this. So tonight's winning raffle ticket. Anyway, tonight's winning raffle ticket is, I don't have it. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Put your hand up if you remember Lynn interrupting me continually last year. Yes.
I was in 2 different institutions, and I ended up from the age of 2 until I was about 7, I was in one institution. And then when I was 10, I went to another institution. I spent years in those institutions. I spent 13 years of my life in institutions. And I ended up getting treated very badly.
What stuck out for me was how humble and how unaware one of the performers seemed to be about the gift she possesses in expressing her life and her feelings and her experiences. So often we have not experienced, perhaps, or many of us, a family that was proud of us or that told us we were wonderful, like our song says. And so to start to be able to share that with each other, that was so fabulous. You really have a gift, and see that light begin to come into the eyes it's great.
So there's going to be nervousness, and that's another thing you learn. If you take the risk, and you happen to be blessed by falling down, you get to be blessed by the experience of someone helping you up.
And we do appreciate you sharing your story and your courage and joining us tonight. So take your bow.
Want to do the whole piece?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you want me to just stand out here?
For now, yeah.
So, Matthew,
so
you
let's-
go between
and then-
those two ladies. Can you
And then boom.
We're gonna join.
So then,
I can see it now.
wait, we gotta.
Yeah, that was
Try
not
to be
comfortable.
better.
That's better.
Hi, how are you? Fantastic. Yourself?
Good. Did you have a good week?
Oh my word. It was so long.
Was it?
Yeah.
So you're a freshman now?
I'm officially a freshman.
Fantastic. You like the campus?
Oh yeah, I love it. I met a lot of people that I didn't think would be there.
Is that a good thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
My roommate for next year, she's pretty cool.
Good.
I've been going to Tri-County for 2.5 years. My father died in 2007, and that wasn't the part that bothered me so much as my little sister, Emma, who is 9 now. She and I were separated. And that was very hard for me because I had been the prominent adult figure in her life since she was about 1.5.
So do you want to be mic'd? Practice with the mic? Well, you're going to be mic'd for the performance. The question is, do you want to be mic'd now and practice with the mic?
Might as well.
Okay. John, is this mic here ready for Tatiana to use to practice her piece?
As soon as we can find the power.
Oh, okay.
My friend Charles, he and I were really close. I met him when I was 14, and we kind of off and on-ish dated, not anything ever official. And he and I had a really long phone conversation the night before he shot himself. And that was kind of my way of saying goodbye, because he said goodbye to me over the phone but hung up before I said goodbye to him. So this is my version of letting go, where most normal people go to funerals and cry and stuff. I went to a funeral, I cried, and then I'm doing this.
Taking a seat at the piano now is Tatiana Curtis. Tatiana Curtis is a recent graduate of Richmond High School, and she's loved music from an early age. And music and art have been her release and coping mechanism throughout the years. Almost Lover, which is the piece she'll be playing this evening, is a song that she chose to say goodbye to a close friend of hers that passed. She's always glad for an opportunity to sing. She's pleased and grateful to be part of tonight's Inspired Voices and to be able to share with all involved. Ladies and gentlemen, Tatiana Curtis with Almost Lovers.
I have a pretty big family, so to be honest, getting attention is really difficult in a big family because there's so many places that attention is better served. For example, with the little ones, or my older brother is autistic, and he always required a lot of attention. And he and I are very close in age. He's only a year and a half older than I am. And I was always very envious because I was the troublemaker when I was younger, so that's how I got attention. It was always negative attention. But he was the golden child back in the day, or that's what I thought. It wasn't until I was about 14 that I realized that he wasn't the golden child. He just had different needs than I did. And when I realized that, I got really heavy into musicals. It's like my outlet. It's my way of expression because I'm not an artist per se. I can't use paint to show what I'm feeling. I can't write stories and put myself into them. I'm trying not to think about you. Can't you just let me be? So long, my luckless romance, my bad. Singing, playing instruments, just music is the only way that I can express how I feel in such a way that nobody is down on it, in a socially acceptable way, if you will.
Cause I think you're wonderful, ooh, I think you're special, and I can't think of anything better.
To be part of the consumer community is rather new to me. I've struggled and been in recovery for a long time now. But because of my other jobs and other circumstances, I wasn't an active part of the consumer community. And I just feel so blessed to be a part. It's difficult at times, but it's still home. And I want to share nights like this with my fellow consumers, and it means a lot.
We need help, I'd say. You're a mess, I'd say. You see, I'm really not the problem, so stop looking at me that way. It's the damn coat's fault. There is a coat. I am not the coat. The coat is not me. The coat's name is depression. Depression is a disease. I have a disease. The disease's name is depression. I am not a disease. The disease is not me. And now maybe, just maybe, you'll begin to see me. Getting back on the stage and listen, seeing the audience and actually feeling appreciation maybe think that maybe the poem did exactly what it was meant to do and help people understand it. That's the one thing, you talk about being in the moment, this will sure do it. I really came face to face with some real stuff for me tonight. I learned a lot about myself, and that's pretty valuable to me.